Peace and Yah bless. Yah's the strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He's the spirit and creative all things that live and breathe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk about the mighty Mashiach Ben David. The mighty Mashiach Ben David, or what you all would call the Messiah. Messiah just means anointed. Anointed means Yah has picked him for service. Okay? Remember, Yah has picked him for service. So he can't pick himself. Other individuals can't even pick him. Okay? Not even really the power elite. Okay? Yah can put it, in their minds about what's supposed to happen with the process. Okay? But they have to understand that they have to follow the direct orders of Yah and do what Yah asks them to do Yah's pleasure when it comes time to seat the Mashiach Ben David. The Mashiach Ben David, as I told you all before, is also synonymous with Yahshua or Joshua, or some say Yeshua. Okay? It's all the same person. Same personage. Okay? Because same persona. Because people have different, viewpoints and beliefs about how this thing is going to come about. Because as I told you all, there's not going to be an overall high priest in the third temple as we had in previous pantheons, right? Even in the second temple, okay? Where you had a Joshua present, okay? Who was a high priest out of the line of Zadok, which takes you all the way back to Aaron, okay? Aaron the high priest. He is the high priest line of the Levites, because you have kind of like two lines of Levites. You got the line coming from Moses, and you got the line coming from Aaron. Well, on Aaron's side, because both of them are brothers, right? Levitical brothers, right? I mean, literally brothers. But the deal is that on Aaron's side, the Most High brings out the high priest line from that side of the two brothers, okay? Even though they're all inclusive, okay, are Levites, all right? Just wanted to explain that. Well, in the third temple, there's not going to be an Ark of the Covenant, okay? Because as I told you all, we're going back to that original relationship with the Creator. He will be here on this earth, ruling this earth, right? But literally here with us, okay? We will enjoy that relationship, covenant again with God, everyone alive at that time, all right, who witnessed the third temple being built and completed, sacrifices put back on the altar, okay? He will come in through the east gate, right? The outer east gate, travel into the inner east gate, and go right back into the holies of holies, or what they call the oracle, all right? Into that area where, where his spirit always dwelt and hovered above the Ark of the Covenant. Well, since there's not going to be an Ark of the Covenant, Jeremiah 3, right? And 16, all right? Then, the high priest doesn't have to come before Yah anymore, okay? In that way, on the Day of Atonement, all right? So, that being said, because I know that's kind of a confusing thing for people who don't really understand what's happening here, okay? Because the people are now before Yah, okay, all the time when he comes to the temple, all right? All right, and there's going to be a brand new covenant made, right? An everlasting covenant made, all right? So everybody who sinned before, this thing is fully in effect, this covenant, everything they've done, Yah is going to put that all to the side, okay? And there'll be a brand new covenant made between all of us, all right? You got to do some study and research to understand what I'm saying. This is kind of complicated subject matter, all right? So you got to do a lot of reading to get this understanding right here, what I'm trying to tell you. So there won't be a full high priest within the temple. It'll be descendants of Aaron, or what they call Zadokites. Okay? But all the Zadokites are going to do the same job. It won't just be one person doing that job only. Okay? All the Zadokites will do the same job. Okay? They'll just be in rotation. Okay? So for every 7 days, there'll be a different person who is, I would say, acting in that role of a high priest. Okay? And then me and that priest will always be in contact. Okay? So you're probably wondering how. Well, in the temple, we're going to have some of the same technologies they have in the world, right? So, he'll have a, video screen or whatever the case is, whatever we have back then, maybe even holograms, who knows, right? And, I'll be able to talk with him. He'll be able to talk with me, if there's an issue, at the third temple or things like that. So like I said, it's going to be a great time when you all see all this thing come about. It's going to be very mighty. Because the Mashiach Ben David is also a priest also, okay? It's not just the king. He's not just the governor, okay? He is a priest also. And that's very, very important to know and understand. So he has to understand, most of what's happening, even with the Levitical order, because he kind of manages not only the nation, but he also manages the temple, right, on top of the Zadokites, okay? All right, like I said, they'll just be in rotation. So they'll, what I call it, in the actual kingdom government platform, is just be a priest on duty. He's in the stead of a high priest, but he's not the high priest. He's not above the Davidic monarch. The Davidic monarch is the priest of all the priests, all right? Even though he's after, as it tells you in Psalms 110, that he's after the order of Melchizedek. Well, what is the order of Melchizedek? Well, it is a role of being priest and king. All right? So that's whenever you guys go to Zechariah chapter 3 and chapter 6 and you're reading about the high priest. What that's trying to explain to everyone is that that's the character that the seed of David is going to have to be trained into, and the Yah will put on him. Okay? He'll have that spirit. Okay? He'll have that particular spirit. Just like Joshua back in the day, okay? He'll have that kind of spirit, that priestly spirit to be upon him. That's why he's king and priest, okay? He governs the nation, but he's also a priest, right? So he leads the people in a lot of things, okay? When it comes to what you would call maybe religious matters, if you want to call them religious matters, okay? Or definitely the law of the Torah, understanding and, discerning between cleanness and uncleanness and things like that. Like I said in the last video, marriage and sexuality and how to eat, your dietary law, okay? All the festivals of Yah. So a great many things to know. Even all the sacrifices upon the altar. He's responsible for knowing all of that information because he has to manage these priests and maybe even train a lot of these priests into what they're supposed to know. Because he's the top priest, okay? All right. The Mashiach Ben David. So we're here in Jeremiah chapter 30, all right? And we're going to start at verse number 3. All right? For lo, the days come, saith Yah, I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. Now you notice it says, my people, Israel and Judah. He always talks about both factions, the northern faction of it, which call themselves Israel, and then the southern faction, which call themselves Judah, right? Okay, there is no such thing as no one people. Okay, there's two factions of Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, okay? Israel and Judah, right? So he's going to bring again our fortunes again, right? Saith Yah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Okay? And these are the words that Yah spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. Because this right here is something, a prophecy that Jeremiah is, naturally singing. Same as the other prophets, Ezekiel and, Isaiah sing these same, prophecies of us going home. Okay? All right? So let's go to verse number 7. Alas, that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, right? His trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. Because these days and what's going on now with this coronavirus, man, it's nothing like this. Has there ever been a time on earth like this? Where the whole entire world is locked down? People can't go outside barely. People can't go to work. Have you ever seen a time like this? Has anybody ever seen anything like that? I want you to raise your hand because I need to know when it was. Because it hasn't been in my last 49 years, I can tell you that. All right? So, it's just very interesting times, okay? Like it says, it's a time of Jacob's trouble. For that day is great that none is like it, right? All right, well, during this time of Jacob's trouble, okay, verse number 8, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. Talking about the daughter of Babylon, right? Top of triangle, right? The Most High said he's going to break that yoke off of our neck and will burst thy bonds. And strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. That means we're not going to serve at these jobs no more because our bondage is going to be over with, okay? All right? Whenever it's over with, okay? All right? Or whatever we're doing, no matter what you're doing, no matter who it is. Okay, when Yah allows us to go home, when he triggers the Exodus, all right? But we're not going to serve the strangers anymore, okay? But what's going to happen? Israel and Yahudah, right? But they shall serve Yah, their God, and David, their king, whom I will raise up unto them. That's very important to know, okay? Very important to know. Because Yah has to take David through this process of raising him up to the people. Okay? Didn't say nothing about coming back. It says Yah's going to raise him up. Okay? All right? Yah himself is the one doing this. Okay? For the mighty seed of David. All right? But you notice all this process of raising him up before the people is connected directly to us, leaving out of captivity also. Okay, it's correlated together. All right, inside of Jacob's trouble that's been going on for many years. It didn't just get started. It's been going on for many years, okay? The Mashiach Ben David. Like I said, the most powerful monarch on the earth and will be the most powerful monarch on the earth. Also a king, also a priest. Okay? But as far as the temple is concerned, he manages the third temple. He also causes the third temple to be built. He also assembles all of the tribes back into the land. He also does the same job that Joshua, I'm talking about Joshua Ben Nun, right? In the book of Joshua. He also goes in and divides the land amongst the tribes that we've showed you guys, several times how it's supposed to be divided, okay? Very important matters that you guys get to starting to understand. All right? Especially for those who want to make the Aliyah. All right? And go back home to Israel. And we cannot wait for that day. Okay? Let's go to verse number 10. Therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yah. Neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. Okay? From the land of their captivity. Very important. Black people, man. Easy to figure out. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Okay? And that's how you know that's definitely not talking about the people in the land today. Because they certainly don't be at rest. And it certainly ain't very quiet over there. Okay, they always afraid of Palestinians, That's why they go over there and arrest them and do all kind of things, without cause, right? Okay? So we can't wait for Yah to take us home. That's a day that I'm sure many of us who've been serving Yah will gladly welcome and be glad to see. And as we told you earlier, all right, the governor proceeds from the midst of the people. He proceeds, all right? And it's not these people that we've been hearing about. You know what I mean? These people have been talking about. The governor has to be somebody that Yah himself has trained. Not watching videos, not listening to videos and all that kind of stuff right there. Yah trains him himself. Okay, he's under Yah's tutelage, okay? The whole entire time. Yah also protects him. Okay? He's not somebody who's, done faked their death and all that. These Kobe Bryants and all that. Okay? And many others. Okay? He's not going to be an athlete. He's not going to be somebody rich. That doesn't even make sense for the Messiah anyway. The Messiah can't be rich. Already rich. He doesn't get his portion until after he returns home. Okay? I mean, simple as that. These things are really easy matters to know and understand. Okay? It's not a woman. Can't even be a woman. All right? That doesn't make any sense. It's the Mashiach Ben David, the son of David. He is David's progenitor. Okay? So it's very important that you people get to understanding and knowing these things. All right? Doesn't matter what the elite had drawn up in their playbook. We have to work off this playbook right here. We can't work off any other playbook. All right? Yah raises up this seed of David. Okay? Simple as that. When you read just reading in some other versions, you can see that yourself, especially right here. Okay? For my people will serve Yah their God, and their king, right, descended from David. The king I will raise up for them. See, Yah is the one who's doing that. He's the one who does this process for David, okay? And then he proceeds from the midst of the people, from the midst of the tribe of Yehudah. All right? Because if those people in the land were truly the people of God, right? Okay? Then David would have came back with them. You notice right here, it shows you that when the captivity is over, they have to answer to David. Okay? Does that sound like the people in the land today, the Zionists? Netanyahu's running that. And they got I don't know what kind of government they have over there today. They got it so confused right now. They don't know what they're doing. All right. So you got to look at this prophecy and see, does this prophecy match what you all are seeing in the land of Israel today? It doesn't match. Okay. Because David would have already have been there with them. Now, David's line goes into captivity, right? All right. They come into the captivity. Okay. But when the captivity is over, David goes out and he's with them and he rules over them. Okay. That's why I was telling you this right here. So when we go home, the people, we're all going to serve Yah, and they're going to serve David, their king, whom Yah raises up unto them. Okay. All right. Simple as that. Very, very, very simple matters to know if you all would just study. And then what you do is you go here and you look at this and you compare it to what you see in the land. We'll say, man, I don't see no seed of David in the land. Yeah, they're still talking about the Messiah or, Jesus or whatever the case is. You don't see any of that. Okay? The seed of David has to go back and come out of the captivity, okay, with the people. That's what the Yah, our righteousness, entire Jerusalem movement is all about, okay? That's what it's all about. That you read about in Jeremiah 23, and we'll go there, okay? But the Mashiach is the most powerful monarch on the earth, okay? Because Yah is the one who gives him his position and his power over the entire earth from sea to sea, okay? So Jeremiah chapter 23. Okay, here's who I am. You guys go there. Okay? Very important that you read verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith Yah, I will raise up unto David a righteous branch. So a branch meaning what? David is the tree. Okay? So a branch is one of his sons, right? And a king shall reign and prosper and execute judgment and justice in the earth. The king, King David, right? One of his sons, okay? The Mashiach Ben David. Simple as that. All right. In his days, Judah shall be saved. See that again, talks about how Judah is saved and Israel shall dwell safely, right? Okay. And this is the name whereby he shall be called. So when we get home, they're going to call him Yah, our righteousness. And naturally, Jeremiah 33:16, the city itself is going to undergo a name change. It's going to be called Yah, our righteousness. Okay? All right. And what is all of this connected to? The Exodus. Okay? Anytime we come out, our leaders come out of captivity with us. All right? Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yah, that they shall no more say, Yah liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yah liveth, right? That's not going to be said anymore. Moses' Exodus. We're not going to talk about that no more, right? Okay? Because this Exodus is going to eclipse that, right? But Yah liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, North America, okay? The north country, right? And from all countries whither I had driven them. So from all over the world, people are going to be coming back, all right? And they shall dwell in their own land. Very important to get to understand what this program is all about. Okay, because, you know, great many of y'all going to come back to the land, you know, waiting on Jay-Z to show up. Bad news is he never going to show up. Okay? All right? So that's up to the person to do enough study to understand. All right? He ain't never going to show up. Period. All right? Why? Because it's only a photo that they drew up and made, including our ancestors' worship. And they still worship that today, along with all these other deities. Notice they're all figurines, you know. They're all figurines, or they're some kind of a, you know, a photo that people look at of something generally that's dead, right? That's what people worship. It's a crazy thing, but that's what happens, okay? So it's very, very important to get to understanding and knowing these things. Like I told you, it's always connected to us being released from captivity. I'm here in Ezekiel 34. Tells you the same exact thing. Verse 13. I will bring them out from the people and will gather them from the countries and will bring them to their own land and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers and in all the inhabited places of the country. See, it's always about us coming out of captivity. And then what happens? Okay, verse 22. Therefore I will save my flock, and they shall no more be a prey, and I will judge between cattle and cattle, right? And I will set up one shepherd over them, all right? He shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd, right? And I, Yah, will be their God, and my servant David a prince among them. I, Yah, have spoken it. Now, y'all know when God speaks something, there ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Okay? When he speaks, notice it's right here, 24. Okay? All right? Because it's the 24th, you know, monarch coming out of Yahudah. I think on the other side of the northern tribes are only exactly 19. But this will be the 24th. Okay? That's what that Kobe Bryant stuff was all about. Because he wears a number 24. So what? He ain't the monarch. Care what number he wears. You can wear the number 7. Don't make you the Davidic monarch. Set that whole thing up. You know what I mean? A bunch of acting. A bunch of actors, man, and actresses. You know what I mean? You guys got to learn how to discern things better on earth, okay? Everything you see with your eyes is not real. All right? No one understand that. See, these people already knew that. That's why they played that game with that Kobe Bryant thing. Okay? Kobe Bryant's not the seed of David. I'm just going to put that out publicly. Not the seed of David, all right? Or any of them other so-called dead rappers and all that. They ain't dead, man. Most of them over in Africa. But that's for you guys to figure out on your own. That's not for me to tell you. Okay? So let's go to verse number 22 right here in the book of Ezekiel. We're going to go. Okay? And I will make them one nation in the land. Talking about us, right? We're talking about the northern tribes and the southern tribes. We're going to be one nation, right? In the land upon the mountains of Israel, right? And one king shall be king to them all, right? And they should no more be, right, two nations. Okay? So it doesn't say nothing about one nation of people. It doesn't say nothing about, Esau, the Zionists, Jews. You know what I mean? That's it. Okay? You got to read this book. That's why they don't take y'all to the Old Testament on them Sundays. They don't want y'all to see these kind of things, man, because then the truth comes out. Okay? Because Israel was divided after King Solomon died. You know what I mean? They died over, taxation and things like that. It was divided for that reason. Okay? All right? So go read the story yourself, right? In Book of Kings, Chronicles, you'll read it. But anyway, we're not, and we've been separated nations ever since. But we're not going to continue to be that way. Okay? We're not going to anymore be divided, right? The Most High tells you that right here in 22. Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore. Well, it says two kingdoms. So what's going on in the land today? You think about that for a second. All right? We're not going to be divided into two kingdoms anymore. That means some Israelites have to be there. And there are some there called Palestinians, okay? Or who call themselves Palestinians. If they would come read this book and get out that Quran, you ain't going to learn nothing in that Quran, man. That ain't going to tell you nothing about who you are, okay? All right, so let's go to verse number 24. All right. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, okay? And they shall all have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgment and observe my statutes and do them. Okay? And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, right? And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Now, what does that mean? After he passes away, he'll pass the crown to the next son, right? Okay, whom Yah shall choose, right? The process stays the same as King David, right? Our progenitor, okay, our forefather, all right? That's what it means. And it'll just go on forever, from son to son to son to son to son to son, once this thing is established again in Israel, okay? Which is all connected to what? To us coming out of captivity, all right? So it's very pertinent that you guys read this book of remembrance. Okay? You have to read it to get wise counsel and understanding about what's really supposed to happen on this earth in the future. Okay? All right. So we're not going to go get into this JC thing and all that, because that's easy to ascertain once you do enough research. Okay? Okay, so I'm not going to go there. But the Mashiach Ben David, right? Look forward to the Black Messiah. All right? It's going to happen because Yah has spoken it. It's not us speaking it. Yah himself have spoken it. Spoken these things, okay? So it's going to be a magnificent day on this earth when all this comes about. And we cannot wait for that day to happen. When Yah triggers the Exodus and takes us all back home, including the stranger connected to us, right? All those who want to serve the name of Yah. Okay, and those who don't really want to serve or not really coming to serve, Yah is going to have them taken somewhere else. Okay? But we look forward to this day right here. All right? When you see Zechariah 9:9 come about, when you see the Mashiach make his grand entry into Jerusalem. And that grand entry, it's going to be. And I hope to have many people with me, different nations, okay, and for different reasons. You guys will see why. We can't tell you everything up front, okay? But do some wise reading and research. Thank you all for listening. Peace. Y'all bless.